Okay, we're here this evening in the Friary in Ballyhaunis. It's our second visit here. We performed an interview here with Frank Wheely recently as well. I'm not sure when that video will go out, but I'm here in the presence of Keith Plunkett this evening. He's a Ballyhaunis native. I suppose we'll find out where he spends most of his time. We don't see much from around here, but I'm just after witnessing an excellent concert which is being organised this weekend by Ballyhaunis Community Council. And they have a big marquee set up out the back. And Keith, was this your first really local performance here in Ballyhaunis?
Yeah, pretty much. First local original performance. I've done pub gigs and stuff, like cover gigs and stuff, but definitely the first showcase of my own songs in Ballyhaunis for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Is it mainly your own stuff you're doing now?
Yeah, sort of. All those songs that you heard were all mine except the Lancome song that I played, the sea shanty song. But yeah, just mainly writing my own songs now, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Now, because you mentioned the sea shanty, that blew me away. I'm not sure how to describe what you did. I've often seen people playing guitar on the flat, but the combination of the slapping and tapping and everything, you don't know that. How do you explain that?
Yeah, so that's. I suppose there's different variations of like lap style guitar. You see like a lot of American sort of country bands that have steel guitars, the resonator guitars, and they'd have them lap style, and they'd be picking and sliding. And I just seen a few people doing that sort of style where you're playing the drums at the same time, and you kind of just slap the string for the bass, and you just sort of hit the sides and get different percussive sounds. And I kind of just got, I was infatuated with that, and I just sort of tried to learn a few songs, and I tried to. Some of the songs that I have known already, I try to just turn them into those sort of lap style songs, and yeah.
The word I think of when I see your type was versatility, because I looked up 1 minute and you were at this, I don't know, what word you describe this slapping the sea shanty you done?
Yeah,
is there a word to describe that kind of?
It'd be sort of just lap style guitar.
Okay.
Like I think lap style kind of has different variations, so like that would be more of a percussive lap style, but yeah, okay. I think that's...
And the next minute I looked up, somebody handed you a banjo, and I think I heard you saying that you only... when did you get that?
I bought it last week. That song in particular, I just... I've kind of had that in my head for a few months, and I kind of always thought it would sound nice. If I was to record it, I always thought I'd like the lyrical melody of the song to be played on guitar and also layered with a banjo. I just sort of had that sound in my head from, I don't know, I must have heard it somewhere on someone, that sort of pedal note where you're hitting the bass all the time and then you're sort of singing the same melody as you're playing. And I kind of just heard it in a banjo in my head, and I was like, I need to just try that. And so I just bought the banjo and we tried it, and it seemed to be okay.
As you know, I'm into music myself, but I mean, I'm not sure what word I'll use here, but the whole experience of doing your own stuff, it's a difficult path really to follow, isn't it?
For sure. It's it can be quite daunting, especially coming back and doing like a hometown gig like this where you know people like neighbours and family, and especially when it comes down to, it's very personal songs, and to play them in front of people anyways, depending on the person, can be quite daunting, but then to play it in front of family and friends and neighbours, and that could be, people who've known you all your life, especially if some of the lyrics are quite heavy and stuff, and it can be quite daunting, and so, yeah.
Secrets revealed.
Secrets revealed, that's it. It's like, you can't hide, like if you're going to get up and play a gig and you're playing your own stuff, like there's no hiding, it's like, I suppose that's something I sort of had to develop over the last while, is to try and not hide my lyrics and not hide my playing, because, I see that a lot in songwriters where they kind of like use like sort of, I don't want to say like, kind of, I did it myself like years ago, like just write sort of words where you don't want to give too much away, you don't want to tell too much about your life because you don't want to be embarrassed and stuff, but I kind of just, I'm at a stage now, I'm trying to get over that and just...
Just during COVID now, in the last 18 months, myself and my son kind of wrote a few things ourselves, but it would interest me what inspires you to write songs, or where do you get your ideas from, or where does it start, or how do you...
Yeah, right, so I suppose there's many different ways a song can come about, and a lot of the times it's lyrics, like I'll just be writing lyrics somewhere, I'll just be outside, or just, I like to just write words anyways without any songs, and just, but then a lot of the times as well, I'm just playing a guitar riff, and I can just tell if it would sound nice with words and whatnot, and And then, yeah, there's a lot of different ways it comes about, but I suppose the lyrics and the sort of meaning behind the songs, I think a lot of the ones you heard tonight were very much based around themes of like anxiety and depression. And I suppose I think there's a major problem with that, and with young men in Ireland. I think people in Ireland are still very reserved and unable to talk about, you know, deep feelings and just to be secure enough to feel vulnerable about talking about these things. And I think that's a major problem. And so for me, that was kind of like, it's something that I want to put out there, and hopefully people will like the songs and it will help
relate
them
to it. Yeah.
relate to it, and then help them open up about a lot of insecurities and stuff. And because that's what happened to me, you know, I was very insecure growing up, and
Really?
listening to the songwriters that I love, I just realized that, you know, it's completely normal to talk about these things. And, then
And isn't that the biggest problem with it, that people just don't open up or can't open up or feel there's nobody they can talk to?
I think so, yeah. I think, and I think it's more so in Ireland. I think people are very reserved in a way, you know, just with the history, you know. I think people are quite reserved, and on the other hand, we're known to be a culture that's, you know, we always have the crack and we're very fun. But I think that's the result of, you know,
covering it up, maybe.
Covering up in a sense. Like, I think we're very good at that. We're very good at, you know, having fun and joking around. And I noticed that a lot. You know, a lot of people's humor with your friends is to almost take the mick out of them, and I think that's just a little, like, it's fun, you know. We're known for having the crack, but I think that is a result of sort of covering up and getting too personal about things in conversation.
Going back to the songwriting again, do you wake up in the middle of the night with a song in your head? Do you ever kind of, does that ever happen to you?
I suppose that used to happen to me years ago. Like, I used to always make a habit of, if I got an idea, I'd get up and write it down and whatnot. And in the last year or so, especially with COVID and being stuck inside, I've been writing so much every day that I kind of have too many ideas to be working on, so that I don't really get those thoughts at night anymore, you know, because I know when I wake up I've got loads to go to and loads to work on and finish. So, but yeah, I definitely would have done that.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing for any writer to do,
Yeah.
like whether it's songwriting or like whatever sort of writing you do, or any sort of creative person. I think if you get an idea, you should always take it down, no matter what, you know.
Yeah. And are you a poet as well? Do you find yourself kind of writing poetry and things as well as?
Yeah, in a way I do. Like, there's a lot of the lyrics that I'd write on their own, like some of them I just kind of finished them as, I suppose, in verses, and I'd never put music to them, and I know that I don't want to put music to them, and I don't know if you'd call that a poem. I wouldn't really call myself a poet, or I wouldn't sit down to write poetry or anything, but I do have some poems there. Like,
Okay. Now, of course, knowing your family, there's I'd call a rich seam of history of talent and music and everything on both sides of your family, really.
Sure, yeah, definitely. I suppose, yeah, all my cousins play. They were all in bands. And yeah, my mother used to play when she was younger. She used to play guitar and violin. And my granddad, you probably know my granddad, Johnny O'Shaughnessy, was a bit of a legend on the fiddle.
Yes.
And then, yeah, my uncle.
And the other Johnny O'Shaughnessy.
Johnny O'Shaughnessy was an amazing drummer. And then, yeah, my dad's an amazing singer too, country singer. And
I remember your dad was big into Don Williams, and when we were growing up, he'd sit all his nights sitting in his room listening to Don Williams, and beautiful voice.
Yeah, he's got an amazing voice, and that hasn't changed. Like, every night now, he's got a massive record collection, which he doesn't listen to as much, but his CD collection is massive, and
he has it live now.
Exactly, yeah. But he's constantly just in the room, just playing CDs and singing, and he's always got music on, and I think that's definitely where a lot of my sort of musical influence came from. With the rest of the family, of course, you know, like, a lot of people in the family play, and all my brothers play, my sister sings and plays, and I suppose it's always just been there. So, like,
isn't that an important aspect of it too, to have it kind of bred into you from all sides, and you get the inspiration to kind of go at it?
I think it's very important, and yeah, it's amazing. I think a lot of people sort of have that, you know. It's more rare to find, you know, somebody who's like an active musician who doesn't have something in the family, you know, like comes from a family who nobody plays, and you know, it's still common. But I think if you're from a family who a lot of people play, there's a good chance you're going to play something. And
so going back to the gig tonight, how was that tonight? How did you feel it tonight? The hometown gig, I suppose, was a bit of a challenge for you, nervous-wise or that, but I would say the whole marquee and the summer evening and all that, was it a nice experience?
It was amazing, yeah, it was brilliant. I was very nervous coming up to this. Like, I was away a few weeks ago and I got the email for it, and in the email I seen it was signed off as the Claremorris Folk Festival, so I assumed it was in Claremorris, and I was like, that would be great, you know. And then when I reread the email, it said Ballyhaunis, and then I kind of, it was very daunting then, because for one, a lot of the songs weren't even finished like fully, and I was kind of, I suppose as I was talking about like the sort of deepness in the lyrics, I was like really afraid to sing those songs in front of people and family, but it was really nice to be here. Like the marquee's brilliant, you know, everybody working here is amazing. It's run very well. And
so we'll say, where do you live now? Do you live in Dublin or do you live here? Or
I live in Dublin, yeah.
Live in Dublin,
yeah.
And you come up and down for different events and I suppose family events and all that.
Exactly, yeah. I've been in Dublin now for just over 3 years, and I suppose before the lockdown, the first lockdown happened, I was driving back quite regularly doing, I suppose, like pub gigs and cover gigs, and I was borrowing some gear off yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
But I suppose at that point, that's when it kind of, around February of that year, that's when it kind of all came to a halt. That was, the last original gig I did was in February of 2020 in Castlebar, playing with the band Alfie, who are an amazing 3-piece sort of folk trad band.
Okay.
And that was the last gig I did, really, and then it's just been 18 months now of just...
So I would say on the whole thing of lockdown, how did that affect you? Do you find it hard just kind of you couldn't perform or?
Oh yeah, totally. There was like no gigs at all, like, you know yourself, like there was just no events happening, like, you know, no crowds, anything, so it was just, music has just been dead for the last year and a half, and we're finding now with a lot of the grants that are coming in with the, you know, the government funding, like a lot of these smaller events are happening again all around the country, and so it's, you know, even just following people online on Instagram and stuff, you see like a lot more gigs happening every day, like in Galway as well and everything. So it's on the way up, it's on the rise, and hopefully there's more gigs to come.
So would say, taking into account the way the music scene is changing, you know, you're talking about your dad listening to records, that's the era I came from. We started with cassette tapes and records, and you bought records and tapes. Nowadays, that kind of doesn't happen. So where is it today? Would say if COVID was over now and all restrictions were removed, where would you like to be in 12 months' time if all restrictions were up? Is it live gigs? Is it people downloading your music? Where is the future for you?
So hopefully, I suppose, yeah, definitely live gigs is the main thing. Like even that tonight, the songs that I played, I've had a few people ask already if they can find them anywhere, and you can't. Like haven't recorded any music in a long time, but I suppose that is, live gigs would be like to be busy doing live gigs. And again, I think with the lack of music in the last year and a half, I think there's going to be a lot more like very specific, unique like songwriter nights all around the country, and I think this is like a new sort of wave, a new breath of fresh air for gigs that are about to happen. So I think hopefully in 12 months I'll be busy gigging, and I'll definitely have some music out by then. I'm planning to do, there's an amazing musician from Knockmore in Mayo called Cathal Fognan.
Connor?
Cathal Fognan.
Oh, right.
He was in Dundalk in college with me, but me and him are planning to do like a sort of a cafe tour in spring of next year, or just after that, and he's going to have his album ready, and hopefully I'll have something ready by then. And
excellent.
We're going to try to do like a little cafe tour. So,
okay.
But yeah, in 12 months, hopefully gigging and have music.
It's hard to beat the live gig, though, isn't it? With
it
people,
is.
The response of people, and even there tonight now, and the reaction from people, like it, you know, it was.
Yeah, it's an amazing, like performing live is like, it's a whole different entity. Like it's like, you know, especially you see a lot of people doing streams online, and it's like, you know, it's great to see them play, especially if you love the artist. Like it's just amazing to watch them play, but you just can't beat live music like that.
You can't beat the live effect. And
exactly, I just like interacting with the crowd and getting actual feedback to you as soon as you finish playing, and while you're playing, it's like, it's a different experience altogether. And
one of the funny things tonight, when you were tuning the guitar up and down for different songs and that, and I thought it was very funny you said there, you know, some people are good at talking while they're tuning their guitar, and it's like being ambidextrous. It's a thing that just can be difficult because you're trying to concentrate and getting this tune right, and you know, people are there waiting, and you're just kind of trying to, how will I cover this up? But
and it's a bit weird because you think like, because if you learn different instruments, you're able to like split your brain and you know, do different rhythms here and different stuff here, but I still can't tune and talk at the same time. So
because that has to be right.
It has to be right. You have to watch the green light.
So just on going back to, would say, the performance tonight, would you see, we were talking about it outside, would you see a future in something like this being held regular, where people like yourself, or even ourselves, songwriters, could actually come and perform their stuff in the open air in a marquee, or maybe here in the Fiery again sometime?
I think so, for sure. I I think definitely. I think like I wasn't here last night, but I heard it was amazing. I heard it was a brilliant turnout and amazing feedback. And tonight it seems to be going amazing as well. And I think definitely, like if you can do it here, as smooth as this and as wonderful as that, I think it's definitely possible. And especially with, as I was saying, with all the smaller events coming back in now, like being funded by the government and stuff, I think gigs like this are going to be a lot more possible going into the future, definitely.
Now, I know you kind of half answered this earlier on, but would say I'd regard you as a solo artist as such, but would your preference be to be on the road with 4 or 5 piece band with your full kit, drums and bass and rhythm and everything else, or are you happier with that kind of nice cozy arrangement, maybe yourself and one other guy? Which would be your...
Yeah, so ideally, like tonight it was myself and a drummer, and that worked out pretty well in terms of like, you know, usually especially with an acoustic guitar and drums, that can be a very odd mix because they're on the different end of the spectrum in terms of like frequencies and stuff, and it feels like there's a lot missing, like you kind of miss the bass and such. But ideally I'd love to have a cello player for a lot of the songs as well. I've always had that in mind, that I'd love to have just like a small drum kit, a cellist and myself. And I think that would be my ideal band.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like,
yeah. And I was even thinking about it when I got the email a month ago. I was like thinking, could I actually organise to practice with a cellist by then? And even getting practice with the drummer was a bit, we were fighting against time really for the whole couple of weeks, and it's been very stressful. And right now I feel very relieved just to have it over really, and it went okay. I think it went okay, but going into the future, I think I'd love to have a cellist. Okay. I'd love to find somebody who'd be willing to be in a band and do some gigs. Yeah. Okay.
Well, look, there's a chance for somebody, if there's anybody watching this down the road that a celloist, there's an opportunity there, just contact me and I'll put you on to Keith, and there could be an opportunity for a future for you all. I think that's more or less rounded up, and it was definitely a pleasure having you here in Ballyhaunis this evening. Great to have the home gig, and we enjoyed you thoroughly. It's a lonely furrow, again, as I say, as a singer-songwriter, writing your own stuff, because it takes a while to get it out there, the songs, and often you could do the best of songs, but if people don't know them, you'd be better off doing Brown Eyed Girl sometimes, and everybody's singing along.
Exactly,
but it's more difficult the way you're doing it, and it's a hard way to go, but I wish you luck with it, and
thank you so much.
We hope maybe to do something like this in the future again, and hopefully we'll have you back.
Definitely, I'd love that. Yeah, thank you so much, Mark.
Okay, so look, thanks for coming along, and well done tonight, and we'll go out and catch the rest of the gig now before everybody goes home.
Exactly, yeah. So thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks again, Keith.
Thanks
God
so
bless
much.
you. Well done.
Thank you very much. Excellent. So this song is called Farewell, Farewell My Love. Come too far with these mixed emotions. Farewell, my love, you were the sunrise through the morning fog, a piece of grass on the dead bedrock. Farewell, my love, as soon as we lost our touch, beat round the bush long enough for now. My love, it seems the sky is not for you and I, the garden's not ours to lie in. How was I to know that you'd see right through me? My perspective fooled me again. And yeah, you probably would have wed me if I'd asked you. You probably would have wet yourself with laughter too.
was sitting on the top of a rusty fence. It was bent out of shape. It knocked me to the place I was hiding from. Now how was I to know you'd be so kind to me when confession blew me out of the water? Last time I'll embrace you, set fire to my tongue, 'cause I don't wanna have to taste you anymore, anymore, anymore. You've outgrown me, exhaled me, forgotten me. Well, my dear, you screamed silence from our bedside. Back to back we lie, terrified, and now well, my dear, it seems the odds are not on our side. You're favored for a different life. Well, my dear, for now. For the first time, I'll erase you, rip their eyes out of my head, 'cause I don't wanna have to face you anymore. Thank you very much. Cheers. no. Time and time again, I try to be your mercy. Oh, no, no, you couldn't let me in to the level that I had to be in order to help you. There's a shadow on your doorway with no sign of projection. Oh, you say you guard me from yourself, and it's you that needs protecting. Oh, time and time again, I was acting like you're everything. Oh, no, no, to say anything is real, be more naive than calling all of nature's scenes my own. Oh, there's a voice over your shoulder offering way too much selection. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, if there's a choice, don't think twice over, you can regret the recollection. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Time and time again, I was acting like you're. No, no, say anything is real. Could be more naive than calling all the nature scenes my own. Oh, there's a city for the people that you'll never know the names of. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, so why'd you keep these burnings burning love? Why'd you hang your head in shame? Oh, the cold water to the face will keep you on your toes, keep you awake. Oh, no, no, throw on your boots and tie your lace. You don't need to justify your place with me. Your place is where you choose to be. And oh, the roaring sound of thunder reflects the living now we're under. If it's really our last wings, you better help me, God, I might just sink into them all. Thank you very much for listening. This is a song called Cold Cold. Trying to think of something I could tell you about it, a little story, but there's a very melancholic theme in all my songs tonight, sort of battling with the themes of anxiety and depression that I see in other people. Yeah, they're kind of all sort of stories, so maybe you can relate something to it. I'm not saying that you're depressed, I hope you're not depressed or anxious, but maybe you know somebody who is. Stop talking and play the song, okay? Yeah. Step into the open, feel the sea breeze fill up your throat. Now with cold, cold air, now with cold, cold air. With cold, cold air. Now step out from your cover, the one that you've grown fond of, dear. Or talk to your fears. And now with cold, cold light. Now with cold, cold light. Now with cold, cold light. I'll step to the rhythm, feel the howling lift you as we run through the bridges on this cold, cold night. On this cold, cold night. This cold, cold night. there's that face on me, and I haven't seen you for the longest time. Oh my God, you're free, and I haven't met someone this free before. Oh, there's that face on me, and I haven't seen you for the longest time. Oh my God, you're free, and I've never met someone this free before. There's that face on me, and I haven't seen you for the longest time. And oh my God, you're free, and I've never met someone this free before. There's that face on me, and I haven't seen you for the longest time. And oh my God, you're free, and I've never met someone this free before. You were once to me the stars, the moon and the trees. You were once worth more than the air that I breathe. I'd have given up all I had for the ground beneath my feet. But I have already gone to the place that is sweet. Now these walls that we reside between, the roof that protects, they whisper history of love, hands and kisses on our neck. But as history often does, it tends to repeat. This time I've already gone to the place that is sweet. I used to shower you in oceans resembled you and me. But now I've already gone to the place that is sweet. For our heads, we come a long way from using twigs and nettles for a bed. And though the money remains an issue, we'll always have food to eat. This time I've already gone to the place that is songs and poems by the hundreds about your talents and your face. Every inch of your beauty has a metaphor in its place. And though my biro will continue at the pace in which you speak, this time I've already gone to the place that is sweet. The moon and the trees, you were once worth more than the air that I breathe. I'd have given up all I have for you, the ground beneath my feet. This time I've already gone to the place that is sweet. An old man who came over the sea, but I'll not have him. There was an old man who came over the sea, came sniffling and snuffling all over me. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, not shivering and shaking. She told me to bid him come in, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to bid him come in, and he giggled and dribbled all over his chin. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, not shivering and shaking. him a stew. Hey, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to hand him a stew. Well, I gave him a stew and he sat like a fool. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. She told me to hand him the cake. Hey, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to hand him the cake, and the silly old fool wriggled just like a snake. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. To hand him the sugar. Hey, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to hand him the sugar, and he shoveled it and shoveled it down just like a bugger. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. She told me to take him to bed. Hey, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to take him to bed, and the silly old devil now he stood on his head. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. She told me to show him what to do. Hey, but I'll not have him. My mother, she told me to show him what to do. The silly old fool never learned how to screw. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. An old man who came over to see. Hey, but I'll not have him. There was an old man who came over the sea. He came sniffling and snuffling all over me. With his long grey beard, with his long grey beard, now shivering and shaking. Thank you. Cheers. building fires like I know you would. And hunger desires like you're part in the woods. It's hard to explore life when snared at the feet. It's getting harder to roar like the wind every week. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ignore them, still the days go by, and sleep through the morning when the sun never shines. She said it's sad but I'd never show it, 'cause that's what hiding's for. Maybe today's just not for me, maybe tomorrow is scorn. Da 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 da. I think we lost it. There, I think we lost it. Keep blowing the smoke like I know you do, and sail through the kitchen on an ocean of blue. Choose your words and breathe and tell me what's getting you down. Is it the breathtaking sunset when I'm not around? Now da 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 keep blowing. There goes my baby, ain't she the prettiest sight? She taught me how to live life, and I'ma die tonight. Treat yourself like you treat me, step out of the future tense. And now my baby sleeps alone while I'm sleeping on the fence. Da 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 da. How it brings out the blues. Despite it, there I think we lost it. There I think we lost it again. Creates reassurance on this blacked out train. And enviness is an issue when there's nothing to gain. Go on and take it all and leave me nothing, like you always do. I might forget where I've come from, but I won't forget you. I saw the streets of Dublin City last night, all covered in bad blood. I stepped into the shadows, not to give myself up. The reflection in the water seems the happiest night. But there's an anger here that haunts us under pretty lights. Da da da. Da 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 da. As she comes and goes, like the summer air, like the winter snow. Presence is just as pleasant, just as cold. Pick your sides and sides are vulnerable. Act like this is that stage. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. She comes in waves, like the ocean after the day is done. You love her when the sun's out, abandon her when it rains. not suffice. Silent match, but you are not me. As she comes and goes, like the summer air, like the winter snow. Your presence is just as pleasant, just as cold. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Cheers. I really appreciate it. That was amazing.